Hi Ryan,
Hello.
how are you?
Hi. I'm very well, thank you. And you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm in my living room today, with some
Okay.
Aboriginal art behind me and a wooden blind on this side. What have you got in your
Nice.
room?
Um, a picture of a tree. There's a picture of a tree up there.
Right,
Yeah. And a window with a very busy road.
okay. Can you explain what you've been up to this week?
This week, mostly been looking at a bit of artwork and listening to the new mastered copy of the album.
Okay, so Exit 10 have a new album almost ready to go.
Uh, it is, but bar the artwork. The artwork's going to hold it back a little bit,
Okay,
but yeah.
can you give us any sort of exclusive on a possible release date for the new Exit 10 album?
I think it's going to be something like the third week of September.
Okay,
That's sort of, yeah, it's a sort of around that time, but you know how these things can be.
yes. And who was the
It's
album
the,
recorded with?
John Mitchell at Outhouse Studios.
In
So
Reading?
he did, yeah. So that was real nice. It's literally like a 5 minute walk from my house. So uh, that was really nice. And sleeping in my bed sort of every night after studio is just a bit of a different experience
Yeah, much,
from the
much
last.
much better for your voice, I should think, and general kind of well-being.
But yeah, yeah, it's just nicer. I mean, I don't know why, having now done it, I don't know why we didn't do it before. I guess as a young band, you always think you want to get out of your own town and you want to go and record the album in some place. So like the last two records, that's exactly what we did. And then, we recorded here in Reading and it was just so easy. It was really cheap because the studio's right on a doorstep and it was really good and it's the best record so far. So yeah, goodness knows why we didn't do it before, but
And John Mitchell's done some incredible stuff beforehand, hasn't he? He's did an Architects album. Did he do some stuff
yeah.
with You Me at Six as well?
He has, yeah. Yumi at Six. I think he's done some stuff with My Passion, uh, and obviously did that big Enter Shikari album,
Hmm.
which as an album, as it sounded, wasn't necessarily fantastic, but you know what it did sort of speaks volumes,
And
to be honest.
what can people expect from this new album? I spoke to your guitarist Joe on the phone the other day, and he said that I would like it, which which I don't know what
Well,
that
I
means.
wouldn't want to see. I'm a little bit pessimistic, so I wouldn't want to go as far as to suggest that you're going to like it.
Right.
I very much hope you will. I mean, I think um, we when you listen to it, you're sort of on board with Exit 10 already, so I think you'll sort of get it because it is a little bit of a change up, and it's not necessarily what people have thought that we are. It's sort of felt like people have thought we're a metalcore band the whole time that we've been around, and that's not necessarily what we've been for the
Hmm.
past 4 years or something. So it is a change, yeah.
Because I mean,
It's sort of
over the past few years, you've played with. I mean, I remember seeing you play with Soilwork, and which is a very kind of like heavy bill, and at the same time, maybe a year later, doing an acoustic set at a download festival, kind of just completely unplugged
yeah.
in a tiny
That was a
tent.
little bit, yeah. I think this sort of embraces a change in what we're doing, but it's only happened because of getting older and progressing and doing those other albums has helped us get to this sort of point. I don't know, but I still think it is us, if you know what I mean. It's just
In terms of
absolutely.
in terms of some advice for some new bands that might be watching this through the Red Bull Bedroom Jam site, um, Exeter 10 have been going for a while, and
Yeah.
that isn't necessarily reflected in the quantity of releases. So
Yeah.
how do you sort of keep up that motivation to sort of keep going out and doing gigs and writing when you're not always necessarily working towards the kind of next imminent release?
Uh, I remember it being really hard when we were first starting out because you constantly, particularly if you're looking in Kerrang and seeing what the bands are doing that you aspire to be like, because they always seem to be busy and they've always got this sort. They're on the machine, so they've got the next release or the next tour and stuff like that. I think you've got to just bring it back and just focus on on your own music a little bit. Like the way that we've been going quite a long time. The way that I've been able to continue is because I still want to go in the studio with, my bros in the band and write some tunes and then just play in the studio. I'm not necessarily. I think it should always come back to the music basically, and you should be doing it for the music, and hopefully the other stuff will kind of come along. It's when perhaps, because we've all been there, when perhaps you want to be the big band, you want to be massive, then it starts to sort of blur your way of looking at it, and then you're not happy if you're not playing that great gig, or you know getting those good comments and stuff, or whatever it is. And I think it's important to just keep yourself happy with the music you're making. So
And that
I don't
way,
know.
that way you won't ever get bored of singing them and or performing them or kind of playing them to new
Exactly.
people.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to have confidence in yourself. You've got to love your own music. I mean, within reason, love your own music, or love performing your own music anyway. And and then other people will get on board with that. And just keep plugging away.
You've got a very distinctive vocal style in that even when you guys first started out and you were a bit heavier, you were kind of doing these big soaring melodies over the top. Do you have any particular vocal warm-up tips that you can pass on to people watching on the site?
I have to say, as a lot of vocalists I know, I was pretty bad at doing any kind of vocal warm up whatsoever. I'd just tear my voice apart pretty much every gig because I didn't do a warm up. And then my friend Josh in Silosis, he had this Melissa Cross DVD. She's like a vocal coach, and she's helped a lot of metal singers, like Every Time I Die singer, and lots of others. And that's a great DVD, to be honest. And you just, as long as you have confidence to sit in the dressing room in front of your bandmates and maybe in front of 5 other bands and just do the warm ups, or even go to the van or something like that, then I suggest Melissa Cross, because she's got some nice warm ups and it's just a good preparation.
And it's definitely
And
worth
that's
doing, isn't it?
absolutely, yeah, yeah, because I've had plenty of throat trouble down to drinking mostly every night. But yeah, the warm ups are a good idea, and you should do them off tour as well, sort of thing, like before practices, and she's got a few other exercises and stuff like that. But if you want to look after your voice, if you're a singer, even if you're a screamer, sorry, then yeah, there's things that you can do every day, even when you're not intending to sing that day, or you know.
Final
So
question. What one
yeah.
bit of advice do you wish someone had given you when Exit 10 first started out that you think now could be useful to have known?
Well, there's a bit of information that would have been useful for us to know as Exit 10. I'm not really sure actually, because it's such a weird learning curve, and you take your own path, and it never, in the music industry, you can't be sure of anything. So I don't know, you just got to stay true to yourself, and every time your band's building up, you'll see other bands that you perceive as being on the same level as you, and you just have to concentrate on your own band, because someone else that you see at the same level, they're gonna get bigger than you, and it's gonna drive you mad. So you've just got to let it go, let them go wherever they're going, and just concentrate on your own stuff and
Perfect.
just enjoy that.
Wise words, Ryan. Always nice to chat to you.
Thanks.
Will there be any UK gigs soon?
Uh, the next gig is in June in London at the New Cross Inn, and then we'll be doing Sonosphere and 2000 Trees, and a few gigs in July. And then obviously once the album's out, then that's when we plan to tour big.
Well, myself and the Red Bull Bedroom Jam team are going to be at Sonosphere, so I will see you there, if not at the London show as well. Thank you very
Okay.
much for chatting.
Thank you. Bye.